Hi, in today's video I'm going to show how to assemble our most popular 30-inch air circulator, and this is the pedestal version. It is our part number 71586, and I'm going to start with the base. All the hardware that comes with the base is underneath this. It is zip tied to one of the brackets, so if you feel that you're missing parts, please look underneath first. This I've already taken out of the bag and I've set up over here on the table. I find it easiest to mount the base onto the pedestal with the pedestal laying across the table. Otherwise you're working off the floor, which still it can be done. And one note on this half bracket, it fits one way. When you go to line up the bolt holes, you'll see that it only goes on there one way. So as you can see, there's 4 bolts, nuts, and there's 4 lock washers on this base assembly. It requires a number 14mm ratchet. And you can use whatever wrench on the other end to hold it. Preferably a 14mm wrench. You do not want to tighten these all on one side at the same time, so rotate it from one side to the other. That way it'll snug up nice and firm all the way around the bottom of the pedestal. You have 3 feet that you want to space, I could say evenly, because there's only 3 of them. This is just to help with vibration on the floor. Nothing critical about where they're placed. The last thing that we have here is a grommet that needs to go in the hole in the base, which is where the power cord is fed through. This is to stop any abrasions. And that completes the assembly of the pedestal and base. Before you assemble the motor to the pedestal, you will need 14mm and a 19mm for the larger bolt. That is going to be, I'm using a socket and a wrench, and then there's also a 10mm. That completes mounting the motor to the pedestal. Okay, so now we're going to show how to assemble the rear guard to the motor. You have a total of 8 washers. You want to take 4 and put those on first. Set the guard on. You have 4 more washers. Flat washers, that is. And then a lock washer and a nut. This requires a 12 millimeter. Don't over tighten. Make sure they are good and snug, no rattling. You want to have the stud from the motor, when you insert it through the larger opening, you need to rotate the rear guard so that it is in a where it's closed a little bit tighter. That way these washers fit over the 2 radial wires. That way you get a good snug tight fit. Now we put the propeller on. There are 2 flats on this motor. There are 2 set screws on the propeller. Both set screws have to be on the flats of the motor. And they should be centered on the flat of the motor. You pretty much have the hub of the propeller flush with the end of the shaft of the motor. And now we're going to assemble the front guard to the rear guard. You have 6 prongs, I call them, on the guard. These hooks need to be inserted into the rear guard right behind the first radial, the largest radial. You work all the way around. You're going to get about halfway until you have to start using a screwdriver. You want to use the widest blade screwdriver that you can find. As you work around, you have to pry with this one screwdriver, possibly squeeze the guard together with your hand. We're almost in, and then the second screwdriver. Get you there. So that completes the assembly of the CA30 APE also known as our 71586, our most popular 30-inch air circulator. Thank you.